Hello and welcome to the On Pointless Podcast. I'm your host, Curt. Our intro question for this week is, what is the oddest thing that you own? Chara?
Well, your aunt gave us some silver salad tongs that are shaped like golf clubs, so they are completely useless. But we do own that.
Fair enough. Alla?
I own 3 raccoon vertebrae.
Why do you own 3 raccoon vertebrae?
Well, I was going for a walk on, it was Tumbo Island, and there was a little skeleton, and I think it was a raccoon, but I'm not 100% sure. And I thought the little vertebrae were kind of cute and could maybe be a necklace. So I have 3 of them, but they haven't been made into a necklace. They actually didn't look that good.
That is odd.
So it's not 3 raccoon vertebrae. It's
I think raccoon.
You have 3 maybe raccoons.
Yeah, something like that.
At least a rodent.
Mm-hmm.
And Alex?
Well, I have a cat, which is kind of odd to own, and you don't really own a cat, right? It's a living thing.
Yeah,
that's kind of odd.
I guess taking possession of an animal is a strange thing.
That most people do?
Yeah, but is it odd if most people do it? It can still be odd. You can say that people do odd things. See, and my answer to this question was already taken by Chara, because when I thought of it, the immediate thing I thought of was those stupid, pointless golf club salad things. But what she forgot to mention in them is that they also don't fit together because they're both right-handed clubs. So when you try to scoop stuff up, you can't because they don't fit together.
Yeah,
They're
don't scoop.
They're so useless. I hate them. They're the worst. But I guess, yeah, that's the oddest thing that I own, too.
Wait, are these salad tongs or just decorative?
I think they're salad tongs.
Maybe they're just tiny golf clubs.
For a little game of raccoon golf.
Yes.
How much money could you carry?
In bills, I'm assuming.
However you want. You can pick any denomination of money and any way to carry it.
So it doesn't...
How much money could you
But
carry?
you could just have a credit card, can you?
No, it's got to be physical money, so it's got to be bills or coins.
Bitcoin?
Like, if you're talking about cash, okay, Bitcoin could be your currency.
Why not? But that's Bitcoin. It's just like a credit card.
Well, no, they actually made physical copies of Bitcoins
Oh,
as a little gimmick thing, but they still are worth 1 Bitcoin, because my friend's got one.
Just the one. That's as much as I'm investing into this Bitcoin.
That's still a lot of money.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, he's big
Yeah,
into
it's
the
like
crypto
1.12
thing.
cents.
But anyways, if one, depending on the spike, if it's up at like 30,000 for a coin this size, like
Yeah.
a Looney Tooney sized,
Yeah, for sure.
you could
Well,
carry a lot of money.
But then how do you spend a Bitcoin?
Well, you would just sell it. Like, you transfer it. It's got a number on the back that's actually a digital wallet number or whatever for how it works.
But how would you carry the most of them then?
A bucket?
Just a bucket? Like,
Well, I would take the highest currency. Is it like the pound or the euro?
yeah, or the Australian dollar or something like that.
Australian dollars are worth more than...
Probably not more than the pound. The euro and the pound have been weird with Brexit lately, and I know Australian money's worth a lot, so that's why I say that, but I'm not sure.
I didn't know it was worth a lot.
Yeah, Australian
Yeah.
money's got a pretty good exchange rate as far as I know. But whatever it is, so whatever is the highest currency in paper money,
Yeah.
but how are you going to carry the most paper money? Like, I'm picturing myself with, like, a garbage bag suit that's taped to myself where all the garbage bags are, like, a sumo suit. Like, you know those blow-up sumo suits? Fill in one of those with dollar bills and, like, padding it out and then carrying, like, 2 massive garbage bags full of bills.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could Sharpie on the money signs.
Yeah, I think you'd have to do that just for
Yeah.
style. But it's like, how could you walk down the street carrying the most amount of money?
And I have to physically carry it?
You have to carry it. You have to be able to carry it from your house to the bank.
Does it count as carrying if I hire someone else?
No, you cannot hire someone else. You have to physically be moving that money. And if at any point it hits the ground, you lose it.
You could roll in the honey and then roll in the honey.
I love the rhyming of that.
That reminds me of those, like, you know, the booths that the money's flying
Yeah.
everywhere and people are trying to grab it off the air and, like, shove it in their coats and stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know, a wheelbarrow.
Just a wheelbarrow full of money.
Yeah.
Okay. I think you could fit more than in a wheelbarrow, though. Like, I feel like you could just cover yourself. I mean, if you covered yourself and then had a wheelbarrow, what if you had a wheelbarrow, but you had it full of bags of money?
Yeah.
So like full of the giant garbage bags too, because you need to be able to go above the top line of that wheelbarrow.
Well, if you can be pulling things, you could just
Yeah,
have cart
wagon.
after cart after cart.
I'll have a wagon.
Just be
Have a
the
grocery
be a train.
cart.
Yeah.
But you still have to be able to move this yourself.
Yeah, as many grocery carts as that possible.
Yeah, with an anti-grav.
Possible technologies, please. But the nearest bank from you is down a hill. So if you lose control of it for 1 second, if you lose contact with it,
I'll just sit
You've
on
lost
it.
that money.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
you're gonna ride it down the hill.
Ride your money
Oh,
sleigh.
and it's not that far. I could go to the bank at the mall. Less of a hill.
It's still a hill, though.
Barely a hill.
If you lose contact, you lose all that
Just
money.
using the power of gravity to move the money.
We don't live that close to a bank, so this is a journey for
Yeah, that's why you got all the wagons.
the
It's like a
wagon.
wagon train.
And you're going to lose like a third of the money for exchange rates.
Well, not if you choose the right money.
Yeah.
And the more money you have, the better your exchange rate.
So with like the Bitcoin plan, could you carry more value in Bitcoin than you could in paper bills?
See, my thought was when we were talking about Australian or what currency is best, which currency has the highest denomination bill?
Ah.
Is there anywhere that has $1 million bills or anything like
There are
that?
500 euro bills.
Yeah.
500 euros is a lot.
Doesn't the U.S. have like $1 million bill?
I should,
I don't think
I-
$1 million.
Is that a myth?
I thought that was like those African country ones.
Is
where
it?
it's like
with inflation.
It was super inflation. It's like some
Zimbabwe.
dictator took over and they made $1 million coin.
I know the U.S. has some weird, like, super high denomination bills that are, like, not really in circulation, but they've made them before and they exist. Like, almost as a joke currency, except that it is legal tender. But I don't know how big those bills get.
yeah.
Because, like, in Canada, $100 bill is the biggest.
I think so.
Is it?
I've never seen a larger
1,000?
one.
Yeah, is there 1,000?
It's funny. I guess the other way I thought when I was thinking of that is there's some, like, small bills or whatever, but if you had rare prints of money, because some of those rare bills are worth, like, tens of thousands of dollars. But if you had a bunch of them, then you would lower the global value of that rare bill.
Yeah.
So you'd have to have, like, an assorted collection of a bunch of individual rare bills.
Oh, is this because I found that coin from 1922? It has a king on it.
Oh.
Ooh.
It's
Is
only a
it-
nickel though, so
From Canada?
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a Canadian coin with a king on it, which is so weird because
Interesting.
there's been a queen.
For so long.
Yeah.
Is it actually made of nickel then?
Possibly. It's from 1922.
Okay. So basically, you're all going with some form of cart and pulley system.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm the only one
Yeah.
inventive enough to be wearing a sumo suit carrying the string for a hot air balloon.
I'm going to be dressed as a
For a
train.
hot air
Hot
balloon. You
air
never talked
balloon.
about a hot air balloon.
That's because I thought of it as I was saying
Yeah.
this.
Well, no, because I
No,
thought
because-
about that
Power.
before.
Because I thought you couldn't, you had to carry
You
it
had to
yourself.
physically...
Physically.
Fair. But I could... No, I guess a balloon wouldn't float if there wasn't something else pushing it up.
Helium.
Okay, back to my garbage bags full of money.
Okay.
I'm going to be a train.
Chugga, 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 choo choo. So we have another Jim question for you this week, and this one's pretty funny. Jim and I were just sitting on a couch watching a rugby game, and out of the blue he turns to me and says, "Hey, I got a question for you. You have to eat a peanut butter sandwich with either mustard, mayonnaise, or ketchup. Which do you pick?"
I'm going to go mayonnaise.
Yeah, I feel like mayonnaise isn't as strong flavor. You can hide it.
A peanut butter and mayonnaise sandwich?
They're just also bad.
Mustard be the worst.
Yes,
So
definitely.
strong.
Yeah.
Definitely mustard last.
I would probably take mustard over mayonnaise, and I hate mustard, but mayonnaise and peanut butter is just...
Well, mayonnaise doesn't taste very... Unless it's
Yeah.
garlic mayonnaise. It's kind of a neutral... More
Can
neutral.
you fry it?
No, this has to be like plain white bread, like Wonder Bread, the lowest level of white bread you can have, and it has to be soft. It can't even be toasted. It's just like a white bread, peanut butter, and blank sandwich.
Like instead of jelly, it's mayonnaise. I'd
Yeah.
go mayonnaise.
Yeah, it's the least of the evil ones.
Really? I think I'd like ketchup. I mean, like is the wrong word for this.
Well, you also put ketchup on everything.
I do put ketchup in a lot, but at least ketchup has that sweet with peanut butter taste, which...
Yeah, actually, if we're thinking that fruit spreads go with peanut butter, and ketchup has a tomato, which is a fruit, and it's sugary.
We actually we used to make a slow cooker chicken recipe that involved both salsa and peanut butter. And
I
what
think
is
it had some ketchup in
salsa
it.
but ketchup that's runnier?
See?
Yeah,
'Cause
actually.
it's funny, if salsa was in this, I would take a salsa and peanut butter sandwich for sure over the other
yeah.
options.
No, it's mayonnaise, then ketchup, and then mustard, and then salsa. Salsa?
Really? I don't see a problem. It depends how spicy the salsa is.
Depends what
Spicy peanut
type of
butter.
salsa.
Yeah,
a sweet salsa.
that's true. If it's like a pico de gallo.
Ew, with peanut butter? No. I'll
everything-
think like Old El Paso.
Everything is gross. We're going for the least of the evils.
Well, the less evil is mayonnaise.
That's so gross. The texture of that. At least the ketchup doesn't give you a texture to it.
Well,
It
how
does.
much? You don't have to put a lot on.
You have to put
You
a
have to
hefty
soak
amount.
on your bread
One
like a jelly.
molecule.
I would say you'd have half the sauce to peanut butter ratio.
Yeah, definitely mayonnaise.
Yeah.
I also hate peanut butter, so I would hate every bite of it anyway, even without the mayonnaise.
Really? So 3 of you are going to say mayonnaise.
And then you put it in a blender, and then you can just chug it down.
Oh, God, no.
I
That,
think I'd rather eat it than chug something
I would
like
much
that.
rather eat it.
No, but if you chug it,
It's
just,
over.
it's done.
There it goes.
Yeah, but you're not adding any liquid. So it'd be a paste.
But what if you put the blender on liquefy?
It would have to do quite a lot. It's peanut butter.
Blended bread is disgusting sounding. That's so gross. Oh, you guys are all picking mayonnaise. I mean, we can all agree mustard is a terrible option. There's
Yes.
just something about that. Though there's a part of me that goes, maybe mustard wouldn't be bad.
No, it would.
Like a Dijon mustard.
Ooh, honey Dijon.
See, like I was thinking the standard
Like
Heinz
French's yellow mustard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which I don't like. It's like the one condiment I don't like.
Maybe
I don't like mustard either.
do blind taste tests with all of them, and then
Oh,
pick one.
let's do that.
The YouTube series.
I will try all of these, but only one bite. And what I want is
Blindfolded.
I want a cube, so just like a one bite thing, no crust on it.
Yeah.
It's just white bread with the thing, with the peanut butter and whatever the thing is, and I will try a bite of each of these.
All right.
Now, are we doing crunchy or smooth peanut butter?
Smooth peanut butter.
Crunchy or smooth mayo. It gets a little crunchy around the edges of the bottle.
It's dry.
Oh, that's gross. Here's a question. If you toasted the bread, does that change your answer?
Better.
It's better, but I mean, does that change which condiment you pick?
I still go.
No.
I think it makes the mayonnaise work better. I feel like mayonnaise, when it's warmed,
Kind of like
mixes
disappears.
better.
See, to me, I think if it's a hot sandwich, ketchup goes better on a hot thing. So ketchup, because you don't toast the ketchup. You're
This is
toasting the
making
bread.
a spew.
Yeah, can we stop talking about this? It's so gross.
I guess we can end the topic. Sorry, Jim, we don't have an answer for you.
Yeah, we do.
did
It's
it,
mayonnaise.
Bleh.
Would you trade 1 year in your 20s for 3 more years in your 70s?
It's tough to say without having lived any in my 70s,
Yeah.
but
But, like,
it's tempting.
I don't
Back
know.
in my 20s,
The trouble is, there's no guarantees what you'll be like in your 70s. You could have some troubles going on, so it might be better to live the 20s.
And only we are in our 30s. They're still in their 20s. They haven't experienced the over 30. Oh my God, I'm getting old feeling.
oh, don't worry, Alex is breaking at floor hockey.
I'm right at that.
He knows what it's like.
Yeah.
He's getting there.
Because now that I'm in 30, I'll be like, yeah, I'd love to have like another being 22-year-old.
Yeah, it's just like early 20s.
Yeah.
As a 28-year-old, I think I'd take the 370s to another year of being broken all year.
I'd say, yeah, you can pick which year in your 20s. So you could pick, like, when I'm 28 and I have my birthday, I just turned 30. I'm never 29. And then
Okay.
Why are we taking away a year?
because
you
you're
get
losing a
3
year in your
more.
20s.
Oh, losing. I thought you were gaining a year in your 20s.
No, you lose it, and then you get to have more 70s.
Yeah, then you're 73 3 times.
Can you get rid of 3 years in the 70s?
Yeah, I'll get rid of 10
Yeah.
years in my 90s. For one more year being 22.
You would trade 10 years in your 90s.
Yes.
So you go from 80 to 100.
You go to 80 or 89 and just
I mean,
die.
89 to 100. No, you could be hundreds.
I guess so.
My grandma's 94. She's still well aware of everything happening.
But you're giving that away.
Yeah.
You'd give away that decade for 1 year in your 20s. But once that year was over, you'd be like, cool, I just shortened my life by like 10%.
Yeah.
That's a big percentage to give up.
Yeah, but you can also be miserable.
You
My
could.
other grandma's not doing so well. And she's 90.
But like even this, if we're assuming you were going to live to 100, which probably not, but if you were going to live to 100,
No.
you're trading 1% for 3%.
Yeah, if I think the 1%
Is going to be way better.
is way better than that 10%.
Yeah, what percent of your joy happens in 20s compared to other things? And I guess it's all about perspective.
Yeah, I mean, in your 70s, you could be retired and still have lots of free time, no working, and maybe a pension or something, and
Or you
travel.
could have a broken hip, having dementia.
But that's the gamble you're taking. Is
Yeah,
do you make that
I think
trade?
there's too many unknowns.
No, I don't want 3 more years in my 70s.
No,
Okay.
because you don't even know, is the Earth still there?
Yeah.
Everyone's on Mars.
Yeah.
Mars?
That's
Are we on
true.
Mars?
See, for me, because my plan for my 70s has always been to just like start doing drugs and then just escalate the drugs in my 70s because I don't want to get too old. So I'll just do that. So I could have 3 years of just like
Bliss.
drug trips. You know, like I'm not going to be feeling any pain in my 70s. Screw that. What's the point? I think I'd.
Well, which year of your
Would I
20s are you going to get rid of? Because you've already lived it. Does that year not exist anymore?
Oh,
Is it the year
yeah.
you met me?
Yeah, I guess for me, I could
Is
choose
it
it not
the
to-
year you bought your house?
Oh,
The year we got
year?
married?
Which year would you get rid of? Which was a bad year for Curt.
That's a good point. I've never had a bad year.
Did you know me my entire...
I'd probably pick when I was 20 if I was going to pick one of those years.
Before you met me?
Kind of a boring year.
Well, it's just like, you know, when you're 20, you're still really young. And, like, obviously life's better when you're old. But no, when you're 20, it's like, you're still, like, just out of high school. I mean, I didn't go to university. If you went to university, you probably wouldn't pick that. But when I was 20, I was just working in a grocery store, like, stocking shelves. I've pretty much forgot everything that happened from that year anyways. So I couldn't tell you a single thing that happened in, what would that have been, 2007? Who knows? Like, the best Madden game came out in 2006, so...
So you wouldn't miss that.
Yeah,
You'd be
so we're fine. 2007? Yeah.
Madden 07?
You
No.
couldn't do 2009 because that's when you met me.
That's true.
We
Yeah.
would have never met. And
I
that's
would-
10 years of your life gone.
I would give that up because then, you know what? I'm going to have 3 more years later in my life that are like, 2 of those years, or no, it's 3 more years. So all 3 of those years are just free years. When I'm in my 70s, it's like, you know, when I get to 70, it's not that bad because it's really like I'm 67 again because I've got 3 free years of being 70.
And VR will be pretty good by then, probably. You could probably feel like you're 20.
That's true. They can download
True.
me into a thing.
Yeah.
That'll be fantastic. And the drugs will be fantastic. I'm trading.
I'll trade the other way.
Ooh.
So you're keeping your year in your 20s and you're getting rid of 3 in the 70s.
Yeah, no, I'm getting 1 more year in my 20s.
And you're trading another 3 in your 70s?
I thought it was 10 in the 90s.
10 in my 90s.
Right. You in the scale you invented for the
Although I
quiz.
don't think 22. Let's go with 25. I liked it when I was 25.
Oh, when you knew me?
I knew you when I was 22.
Oh, I don't know.
I've
what
known you
told
since I was 19.
But then what if by then they have the technology so people live forever?
I guess that's an option.
So it's adding 3 years to your lifespan, but they are in your 70s, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Okay. Well, then I'd take it.
I'm really flip-flopping. Flip. I guess I'll do 70s.
Okay. That's it. Well, you're not going to exist and we're all going to be playing bridge.
Yeah.
Virtual bridge.
Yeah, in VR.
In VR.
The best use of goggles.
Yeah, our hands will look like they're 20.
This one's a little bit different. First up, everybody needs to say a person, a place, or a thing. Chara.
Beyonce.
Alex.
Boston.
Alla.
Jafar from Aladdin.
And I'm going to go with peanut butter. Okay, part 2 of this. You now have to submit a joke to the Guinness Book of Records funniest joke category from the topic that the person to your left just said. What is your joke?
I'm not good at coming up with jokes on the spot. Something Boston accent, something Patriots.
That's very good.
Ah, got 3 laughs?
Good joke.
How far do you think you could throw that javelin? Jafar.
Oh, that was so much better than mine.
Knock knock.
Who's there?
P.
P who?
Not butter.
That was a good joke. Is that a real joke?
Well, yes, now. It's real.
It's taken the internet by storm.
Yeah.
Wow, that is pretty clever.
That was so cute.
Where did the delivery driver deliver Beyonce's package to?
Where?
To the left. To the left.
Everything you own in a box to the left.
Oh. A joke.
What's the worst activity to have to do in a hurry?
Poop.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
I don't like brushing my teeth when I'm in a hurry.
Just do a half-assed job.
Yeah.
Done.
It's true. You can control the amount of time. It's like, oh, okay, I guess I am only brushing 15 seconds today. I guess tomorrow I'm going to brush for 27 times that.
Does that work? Is brushing like a cumulative thing throughout the course of a week?
No, but you could tell yourself that and you'd feel okay about it.
I guess so. But for me, I'm always like, if I'm brushing my teeth in a hurry, I'm just like, I know I'm doing a bad job. And I'm way more likely to accidentally swallow some toothpaste.
Danger.
You do live through that.
But it's gross. If I'm brushing my teeth in a hurry, the biggest thing to me is like, I like to be able to rinse my mouth out well when I brush my teeth. And that's probably the part I'm going to skip because I'm going to be like running out of the bathroom. Then I'm going to have that like toothpaste back of the throat feeling all day. And I don't like that.
But you can rinse your mouth later.
Gargle it up.
But I'm in a hurry. Where am I going to spit it?
Wherever you're going.
Anywhere in the garden.
Later, to have a sip of water. There you go. No more toothpaste in your mouth.
Oh, but it'll be gross until then.
Eat a pie.
But then I have to brush my teeth again. This is all just going full circle here.
Also, I think a bad thing to do in a hurry would be surgery.
Yes.
Yeah, chopping something.
Yes.
Yeah. Emergency surgery in a hurry. That'd be a good reality show where it's like, you have 5 minutes to do this surgery. It would be like Iron Surgeon.
Yeah.
But you'd only like, first it'd be like, what tool do you get today? I hope it's scalpel. I hope it's scalpel. I hope it's scalpel.
Pliers!
Pliers.
The mystery implement.
What's the guy bite into at the start? I don't know if I want to know.
Yeah, I guess so. That should be, why aren't there more like medical doctor reality shows?
Well,
Lawsuits.
But like training to be a doctor, like America's Next Top Doctor?
Oh, like Scrubs?
Well, but that's not a reality
That's
show.
not true.
They're not going to do reality show doctor things.
Why not? Make it plastic surgeons.
Because they're
People
already
sue
making
each
money.
other.
We have tattoo shows.
Yeah, tattoos don't make lots of money. Doctors make lots of money. They don't need to degrade themselves on TV to make lots of money.
Or it could be like those Canada's Worst Driver ones, and it could be the worst surgeon.
Yeah, so like,
No one's going to do that. You'll lose your... You'll
What if-
have...
Oh, they put
lose
the
your-
leg and the arm.
Oh, no!
Oh no, how did I do that?
Whoa. Where do we go accents?
I guess that's Chara's accent. But like, okay, you take 10 doctors who have had their license revoked within the last year, and the winner gets their license back. It's a reality
Well,
show.
let's see who improves more. No, because that's people's lives.
But the people that go on the show are people who are waiting for surgeries that are going to probably die or have a serious thing before they get them because they've been waitlisted too long.
No.
So they agree to go on with the doctors who have lost their licenses because they might be fixed.
Well, easy ratings, too, with those sob stories.
Exactly.
Built right in.
It's all the people that have been waiting forever, or you do it in the States where people can't afford the surgery.
Well, in the States, people are going to sue more.
No, because they
There's
have
to be no insurance for the show to do that.
they have
Waiver.
to sign the waiver. They have to sign the waiver that it's like, look, I
No,
agree.
people still... No.
You just get the waiver to be worded right, and you're fine.
America's Next Top Doc.
It's the thing, rushing a poop is really hard.
Oh yeah, back on topic.
Yeah, what's it bad to rush?
When you have to get dressed and you're in a rush and you're just like, because the thing when you're getting dressed in a rush is you just get dressed slower. Like you don't do a bad job of it. It just takes you longer. Like if you're trying to like run and like rush clothes on, you're just slower at it.
Sometimes I try to put on my pants or my socks going down the stairs, and every time I'm like, this is just going to end wrong.
hopping.
I haven't fallen yet, knock on wood, but I definitely start doing it and go, no, stop.
Yeah.
It'd be bad to rush a slow dance.
Or maybe you'd look really cool if you did it.
Yeah. Like you're in crazy fast forward motion.
It's hard to thread a needle when you're rushed.
Yeah.
Yeah, any
Precision
fine
work.
motor skill task is
Yeah.
tough when you're rushed.
Yeah. Color within the lines.
I can't do that at any speed.
It is funny how there's certain things where it's just like as soon as you know you're in a hurry,
It's
you're
hard.
just so much less competent at doing the thing.
Like dyeing your shoes.
Dyeing your shoes?
If
What are
you're
you dyeing your shoes?
Can't do it.
I always do it in a rush. You're vulnerable when you're tying your
What if you
shoe.
think about it too much?
Dyeing or tying?
Tying.
Tying.
I heard dyeing. I was like, why are you changing the color of your shoes?
I mean, that would be cool too. I've only ever worn one pair of shoes. I just dye them.
Yeah.
Oh, these ones need
Just
a fresh coat.
Yeah, tie-dyed them.
Do you ever, like, as you're leaving the house, have, like, something you have to throw in the garbage? So you're just like, and you throw it at the garbage, and then it just misses, and you're like, whatever. So you, like, go to pick it up, but you're kind of leaning away, and you go to toss it in as you, like, lean away and run away, and you miss again, and you're like, you know, if I just put this in the garbage the first time, I'd have been out the door, like, 20 seconds ago, but instead you're, like, leaning away and missing the garbage, like, 2 or 3 times as you do it. Mm-hmm. That's something that I definitely do way too often, especially at work. At work, I'll have like a piece of paper to throw in the recycling bin, and I'll just like kind of half do it as I'm going to do something else, and I miss that bin like 2 to 3 times in a row.
Yeah, it always happens when someone's watching too.
Yeah, and then they don't know why you're rushing, and they're like, "Dude, what's wrong?"
It goes in the bin.
That's when you just leave it on the floor and walk away. And then they think there's an emergency, and that's why you left it on the floor.
Yeah.
A turtle race. Be bad to rush.
Yeah, if you're just in a real hurry and there's a turtle race, come on, Raphael.
The other day I was meeting my friends in Vancouver and there was a parade. And so like trying to rush somewhere and then there's traffic or a parade, that's no good.
Yes, actually the worst one I've had of that is one time I was leaving a sales meeting in Vancouver and I was trying to catch a ferry. And it was like, we're going to be close. You know, we live on an island here, so if you don't catch the ferry, you lose like 2 hours of your day. And we pulled onto the hotel, I turned left, and I was ready to like get on the road, and the ferry's like half an hour. It's going to be real close, and I got stuck behind a train. Like the gates went down.
Oh no.
And it was like a 25-minute
And you
train.
didn't jump the gates.
No. And with a train, because you never know when it's going to end, so you just sit there and you're like, it just keeps going and going. And yeah, it was just like 25 minutes of sitting there waiting for a train.
It's been so many years since I've seen a train.
I mean-
Like, forever ago. When was the last time I saw a train?
Probably not when you were on an island.
Maybe in the train museum.
I've been on a train on an island.
Yeah.
Back in the day, they used to do a commuter from Nanaimo to Victoria.
That's a long
And it
time
took
ago.
longer than driving.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was
I
like
was
3 hours.
Just a youth.
But like, that's not like a cargo train. Like if a commuter train was going by, it wouldn't be too long. It's not hauling like millions of miles of boxes from like Ontario to Vancouver.
Yeah.
Anyway, we gotta get to the next question because we don't have a lot of time here. They gotta leave soon.
We gotta go soon.
I'm going to be a train.
Also befriending an animal.
Don't want to rush that.
Don't rush.
Let me set the scene. You're in the Soccer World Cup. You can either score the greatest goal of all time, but lose the game, or you don't score, but your team wins the game. Which do you go with?
Team wins the game.
Team wins the game.
Hold on. So I'm good enough to be on a World Cup team?
Yes, but you're in like the preliminary round of the World Cup. You're in the round robin stage. This isn't to win the whole World Cup.
Okay,
Oh.
so am I on a contender?
You're
Is
on
this
Team
affecting the
Canada.
standings? I'm on Team Canada?
Yeah.
Well, then there's no chance we're winning, so I'm taking the greatest goal of all time.
Yeah,
But this is different. Men's versus women's teams. So us
Yeah.
being on the women's team, we have a chance.
that's true. Actually, you have a very good chance
we
on the
do.
women's team.
We have a
We-
chance of winning the cup.
We have Christine Sinclair.
Yeah. Whereas if Alex and I made it on the Canadian men's team, the fact that we made the World Cup was the biggest accomplishment ever.
Yeah.
No one cares if we score a goal. I don't think Canada's even scored a goal in the men's World Cup of soccer ever. I think they made it once or twice,
64, they made it.
but I don't think they scored a goal.
No. I think they've got a chance this year, actually, because they've got that young kid, Alphonso Davies. Plays at Bayern Munich. He's actually good.
And they might actually make the World Cup.
Yeah, like, there's an outside shot.
As long as we can beat Morocco or some like small country that has
Trinidad.
like less than 1 million people for our 33 million. But I think even if I was playing for a contender, if you could score the greatest goal of all time in the Soccer World Cup,
you wouldn't have to do anything else in your life. You could live off endorsements.
Yeah.
So what would your goal look like that makes it so great?
It would involve a bicycle kick, probably.
Oh,
Yeah, I was
yes.
And some, like, fancy dribbles beforehand and a nice pass.
And maybe a hand of God.
No.
Because video replay would catch it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't really do that anymore. But again, hand of God.
Hand of God.
What's
Maradona has been
He scored a
famous
goal with a
for his
handball.
entire career based off one goal. Like, he's that's not true. He's also a really good soccer player.
He was one of the best soccer players of all time.
Yeah,
And
that's-
just also had iconic goals.
But I think he's more famous in other countries because of his goal.
Yes, definitely. When you have a defining moment, it makes you reachable more globally.
Yeah, I think so.
But
But
it has to be something really different and interesting to make it so iconic.
you'd have to deke through a bunch of people, of course. That's just how you do it. And then you'd have to, like, pass it to yourself off the crossbar and then bicycle kick it in. Between...
So you pass it and turn around?
You'd rainbow pass it, like, heel over your head, off the crossbar, back to yourself, bicycle kick.
Yeah, and when you kicked it, the goalie would be diving, and it would go just past his hands as the defender dove, and it went just past his head and like found the perfect gap between two people, but also in the top corner of the net.
Yeah.
It just seems odd that you're turning away from the net to bicycle kick it as it's rebounding back at you.
Oh, it's because the defender grabbed you and you broke away, so it would have been a penalty anyways.
Yeah, so it's like basketball where it's and one, where you like scored plus the foul.
Yeah.
Also, both of your shoes came off before, so you did it barefoot.
Ooh, yeah.
That's new and different.
Yeah.
You
And your
landed on your
shorts.
head, but you stuck it. So that you were just doing a handstand. Or a headstand.
And then you like did some push-ups on it with your head somehow.
Or just like did like a breakdancing kind of thing.
Or you didn't celebrate at all. You just got up like nothing happened, like you do that all the time.
Oh yeah, of course. And then of course in the post game you just talk about the pass that fed you and team player it.
Exactly. Even though we lost, my goal doesn't mean anything because we lost, guys.
Exactly. Even though we're choosing to lose for that goal right now. Still post game. We gave it our best. Doesn't matter. We tried.
Yep. You could score that goal.
That's boys versus girls
Even without the boys versus girls, I'm taking the individual accomplishment over the team win.
for a team sport.
For soccer.
What does that mean?
Well, it's like, I mean,
He's not a team player. He wants to beat the Suarez.
look, no. I'm a team player.
He wants to bite people.
That'd be iconic. You bite the
That's
ball
true.
I just bite the ball into the
into the
net.
net.
I guess that's illegal.
Yeah, there's nothing against that. You could. What if you just like? Could you
Oh,
get?
What
is
if
it
you're
legal
known
in-
for your game because it's like the ball hits your head, like you spewing teeth
Ew.
out of the way, your nose is permanently on the side, unable to be fixed, and the ball kind of gets in that because of that.
That'd be
Yeah.
the grossest goal.
Yeah.
But
And then there's teeth stuck in the ball.
is it legal in the game of soccer to catch the ball in your teeth and then just run it into the net?
Probably.
There's no rule that you're breaking by doing that.
Can you even hold a soccer
Suarez,
ball with
maybe.
your teeth?
Potentially.
Well, this
I think
needs
if
to be
you
tested.
punctured it, then it would be a foul somehow. I feel like if the ball got punctured,
Then the play would probably stop.
right? But if you were able to just hold it in your, if you had like some weird condition, you can unhinge your jaw and like fit a soccer ball in there.
I guarantee you there's a Guinness World Record who could somehow fit a soccer ball in his mouth.
And you do that, and then just like dangling people.
Yeah, he just have to run through it. Everyone would be trying to like head the ball away because you couldn't kick that high. You're not allowed to kick a ball at head height. That's dangerous play. So they'd have to try and get it with their heads. So the goalie would have to grab your face, and you'd be like a dog, like just shaking it away from them and sprint into the net.
Yeah, because you could get the goalie to just put it in your mouth.
I don't think that's against the rules of soccer.
And then you just like dive your whole body into the net.
There you go.
That is new and creative.
Because the thing is, nobody remembers who wins an individual game in the World Cup of Soccer, unless it's the final. Like, if it's the final, maybe it's a different answer. But no one remembers who wins a game in the prelims. But the greatest goals of the tournament get shown forever. You can still watch soccer highlights of the great goals from, like, the 80s.
I see.
So you're famous forever, whereas, like, a 1-0 win, or I guess in this case it'd be, like, at least a 2-1 loss. No one's going to remember that. I'm taking the selfish play.
And I said Suarez, but he is a team player.
Suarez is very much a team
I should have
player.
said
He's just
Cristiano
an
Ronaldo.
individual diver and bit of a whiner, but he is very team oriented.
It's just the first player I could think of.
I think he's our best shot at scoring the mouth goal. He's got some jaws on him.
He's got some chompers.
Our expression for this week is start from scratch or make from scratch.
Probably making a pie.
Yeah, because you often talk about, like, you make the food from scratch. So it means, like, you got the ingredients. You had to scratch the wheat into flour.
Yeah.
That's grind, but it became scratch.
We're also not trying to say what the expression is, but where it came from.
From farmers who were like, you had store-bought pie, well, I made mine from scratch.
I feel like it's from before you could even get store-bought. Mm-hmm. I think it's from scratch means like, you're like, oh, we're going to have chicken tonight. You go get your chicken, and you get all scratched up because they're dinosaurs with their talons and stuff. And then, so like, you made it from scratch because you're scratched up.
You did the work.
That's
all
the
way from the
first
start
steps
to get it.
to get scratched up. And then eventually you eat it. And you have your sweet, sweet revenge.
So that would be if you were starting from scratch. You just put in the work at the beginning when it was difficult and got scratched up doing it.
Yeah.
Maybe it's something about, like, when you write on the paper, it's like you're scratching on the paper. And so you're starting out your plan from the scratch, which is, like, just the writing at first.
So you're the
before
person
it's
who...
realized.
Yeah, you wrote the directions. You wrote everything to begin with this whole process. It started with your idea. You scratched it down, and then you did it.
Yeah. That's the scratch.
Okay. Surprisingly, none of you are correct.
Huh.
That's very surprising.
We
Mine was
always
so
get
accurate.
these.
I am surprised.
Okay, what if I told you it came from a sporting route?
No. Started with farmers trying to make a pie, and they're like, I have to scratch this wheat into flour. Grind? No, that's for the city folks. We gotta scratch it.
Scratch our wheat down.
Okay, doubling down.
Doubling down.
Okay, well, to start from scratch, they're not sure which sport this came from, and there is a lot of sports who claim it, but the one with the most accurate claim, more than likely, is cricket. And to start from scratch was because when they'd play the sport, especially in the park, they'd scratch out the lines on the ground. So like in cricket, it was a batter's box that they would scratch out. So to start from scratch came from that, of like, if you're doing a race, you'd scratch the starting line and the finish line in the dirt. And it's like, okay, well, we're starting from the scratch. You know, the batter's box is a scratch. We're hitting from the scratch in the ground.
That makes sense.
So it came from scratches in the ground for lines for sports.
But we always talk about you make something from scratch, mostly meaning food.
Because
not
scratch
making a
turned
pie.
into a starting point. So if you were a scratch golfer, it's because you start at par. There's a whole handicap system to that. But it's like anything you start from scratch is to start from the beginning, and the beginning point of a game or a race was the line.
Because you had no ingredients yet.
Because they were not yet scratched.
They were not yet scratched the wheat into the flour.
I forgot. The more times you say something, the more likely it is to be true.
Yeah, that's how the world works.
Just keep scratching at that one. That's everything we have for you this week. Thanks for listening to the On Pointless podcast. See you next time.
Farewell.